afternoon and welcome to Tortilla Talk presented by Tech and Tortillas. I'm your host Dylan, and today with me is Troy in Dallas. Troy, how you doing?
It's been a long time, but I'm doing well.
It has been a while. Dallas, how are you?
Glad to be back, Dylan.
Dallas, as always, I'm glad to have you here. And,
Yeah, thanks.
as Troy mentioned, it has been a little bit since we've done a recording, so we have had two Texas Tech basketball games pass since then. And hey, guys, that's two big road wins for the Red Raiders. At West Virginia, 81-70, and at Oklahoma State, 75-58. Troy, I'll kind of throw it to you in general. What were your big takeaways from both of those games?
Seems like a different group of guys got going across both games. Pop emerged last game, obviously, so that was very encouraging to see. And Toussaint had a really big game against his former team. And so those are the two guys that have kind of had a little bit of a slouch, so extremely excited to see that. A couple of other players maybe not necessarily traveling with us, so that was the other thing to stay, but great minutes from the young kid, Yahalo. So
There you go.
almost.
I'll
Yeah,
take it. That's a lot closer than I would have thought he
Yeah.
would have gotten.
Is it? I think that's a Hawaiian word, isn't it?
yeah, why not?
I think he said aloha.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm proud of you. I didn't think you would have gotten that close. But yeah, you're right, Troy. It was good showing. We had a chance to see other people step up, like you said, with some people not traveling. Dallas, I'll throw it over to you. What were your thoughts from the two games?
Yeah, it was good to see our guards finally getting going. Really impressed with the defense this last game at Oklahoma State, where the crowd was non-existent. So you'd like to see them bring their own energy. There were probably more Tech fans there than Cowboys. So good to see that. Well, we had two guys with 5 steals for the first time in like 15 years. So love to see that effort, especially when coach is talking about defense at the post-game presser.
Yeah, and to your point, Dallas, about the atmosphere, I think there were more players and staffers at the game than fans. So yeah, I wouldn't really call that much of a road atmosphere we had to travel to. But still, you're not at your home stadium, so some elements you have to deal with. But guys, Williams really stood out again. I mean, 17-9 in the first game, and then 18-9 against Oklahoma State. This guy's been on a roll since Big 12 play. Honestly, has started. Troy, do you see this guy starting to get on some radars nationally? He's probably getting close to getting a lot of recognition at this point.
Yeah, he's been on my radar since I've been saying it all year. So I just liked the way he looks, liked the way he played. Coming from the the Mountain West Conference, he won the newcomer of the year that first year, and so I was always intrigued with him. Especially with the tournament experience already. He just reminds me of some of the players that have played very well, maybe a little bit smaller than like obviously McCullough and Culver and some of those players, but he just does everything well. And so when you have that, he's just going to keep getting better. And I think one of the comments I made on I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 episodes was like, if he just becomes more aggressive. And guess what he did? He became more aggressive. I don't think he listens, but now he's just you're never surprised when he drops 16 points, 10 rebounds, and a handful of assists, because that's just what he's done in Big 12 play now. So super excited to see what he does and how he continues to grow. And I just think we haven't reached the peak yet, and so super excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, he just keeps growing. Dallas, he kind of came out of nowhere, and now he's kind of on a lot of people's radars for all team, like first team Big 12, right? I mean, this guy's been amazing.
Yeah, I don't think how you can have an all-team or first Big 12 all-team team. I'm saying that wrong, but
I set you up for failure
without
there
having
with
him
me
on
saying
there.
it wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, I posted on Twitter some metrics from T-Rank of how he's been performing. And since the beginning of February, he's a top 10 player in the country and 3rd overall in the Big 12 since the beginning of conference play. So I think he's a no-brainer, first-team guy. getting worried about him getting drafted at this point. Like we said, I don't know how he's not creeping up people's radars, but if he's back next year, he's going to be one of the favorites for Big 12 Player of the Year.
Yeah, 100%. Kind of came out of nowhere, and now he's, to your point, next year he could be one of the favorites for Big 12 Player of the Year. And Troy, I'll throw it back to you again. So you brought up, now I don't know how to say his name, Yalo Dallas. How would you say it?
Yalaho?
Yeah, what Dallas said. You talked about him stepping up. How do you think the team looked these last two games in Washington's absence?
I think they look different. Obviously it wasn't against the best teams in the Big 12, but I think he filled a need. Obviously, he's like 6'8", so I know the comment was made that. Oh man! All right, we'll cut that.
Dallas, there's a hand coming out of the door behind you.
Your arm out like that.
Dill, you want to run it back?
I don't know. I'm trying
Just keep it. Just keep it.
Hey,
My wife's
sometimes
just
you get
trying to make
hungry.
some dinner.
What was the question?
I think we were talking about Warren Washington being out and how the team has played since then.
Yeah, so it looks like a different team, and obviously it's not been against the best competition. We've been afforded the ability to have a couple new players play. And so with that, the other thing that changed is typically without Washington, our guards don't play extremely well. And they did this time, right? And I don't know if that was because it was against lesser competition. You hope that this continues because I think all of them had a really good game. Like McMullen even had a good game against West Virginia, and he hasn't had that for a while. Toussaint had a good game against West Virginia. He hasn't had that for a while, right? And so you just hope that it continues going into tournament play, the Big 12 tournament, and then also the NCAA tournament, right? And so if they can spread the ball out, hit threes like they were doing, keep the free throws, like we shot 92% against Oklahoma State, like you're not going to lose many games when you do that. And so those are the things we need to do. They look like a different team. So keep doing what they're doing. Let's see what happens against Baylor. That'll be the real
Yeah.
test.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, Dallas, we had been saying that these games without Washington don't count. These last two count, right?
Well, yeah, we said losses don't
Oh,
count.
okay. Just wanted to make
Wins
sure.
count even. We get double the credit.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay. Sounds good. Just wanted to make sure. Last thing, guys. So the defense was suffocating, as you mentioned, Dallas against Oklahoma State. Anytime they tried to pass into the lane, there was a hand on the ball, or anytime they did a skip pass, it was tipped, stolen. I just wanted to kind of take that to tie into my next point. In the post-game presser, we had questions about Kyron Lindsey, and McCaslin he pulled no punches back and straight up just told, the reporters, like, hey, you look at the top of the Big 12 and you see the two teams at the very top. They're the top 8 in the country. And what do they do well? They play defense. So if you want to be on this team, you know what you're going to do? You're going to play defense. You're going to be bought in, and that's where you're going to give all your effort. So he basically said, if you want to play for Texas Tech, you are going to play defense. Troy, he really pulled no punches on Kyron there, right?
Yeah, and he hit it spot on, right? If you want to play with the best, you got to, be the best. And what are those guys doing right now? They're playing defense. And so I like the tenacity, and it showed. Dallas already made the comment with the two guys with the 5 steals. It was suffocating. And a lot of points led to fast break points too. Like they were just running up and down the court. And so it changes the way you play. It gives you probably easier baskets than you're normally used to getting to. And so that could have been part of the reason why, Pop was such a good game, seeing baskets go in early, right? And so it just gives them more confidence when they play like that to see some of those go down.
Yeah. Yeah, Dallas, were you surprised that McCaslin came out with such a strong message kind of towards the team and Lindsey?
Yeah, it was because we haven't really seen him. Pretty much directly call out someone without calling them out. So I was surprised to see that. That kind of tells me we just got swapped around there. I think StreamYard's playing defense on us. Uh, yeah, I think that was really telling. Just maybe some behind the scenes stuff. Them not meshing. Lindsey maybe not putting in the effort that needs to be there on defense. And it seems like he's capable because when he gets in the game, it seems like he'll show out. But the coaches are pretty hesitant if they're not doing something in practice to trust him in a game.
Dallas, I
Yeah,
think that
and
sometimes it shows too, though. Like when he gets in the game, like I just wanted to touch on that because he's very basket motivated, and when he gets the ball, it's
Yeah,
like he always just dives to the hoop. And sure he hustles on defense, but I think it's pretty evident on what side he prefers to play on, right? And it's getting the ball, driving to the basket, and sometimes you can see that, and so I'm sure that's what led to those comments as well.
yeah, and a lot of that is some of the miscommunication I think that he was having in pick and roll defense, where it seems like he's just waiting to get back on offense. But hopefully he figures things out. I think he's got some potential, but sounding like it might not be here.
yeah. I mean, the message was definitely sent, and it was heard loud and clear by the whole team. You're either buying in or you're not playing. So, I mean, sometimes you have to send that message, especially if someone's, and it's all rumors, right? But potentially causing some of the issues that we might be hearing that has been happening. So, we'll go ahead and move on. That's everything we got for Tech basketball. We'll go on to a topic that I'm excited to talk about. Arch Manning decided to not opt into the new NCAA football game because he wants to focus on his play on the field. Troy, I'll start with you. He knows that they just use his name, image, and likeness to put him in the football game, right? Like it doesn't take away from anything he has to do on the field.
No, what I think may have happened is if you buy into that, you then have to play the game, which then takes you off the field. And sometimes you have to play it on multiple days of the week, just like we do with Call of Duty, and it impacts a lot of things. But boy, do we put those hours in still. So,
We do.
it's part of it. I don't know if that's what it was. That's what I like to think it was, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that could be it. Maybe he's just trying to stop himself from being his own worst enemy, knowing, hey, I'll have to play so many downs with myself, and I won't be focused on the team. That's one way to take it. Dallas, I'll go to you. Are we sure he doesn't think that like he'll physically be put inside of a video game?
I'm not sure. I mean, he could also think it's like the league that Johnny Manziel played in a couple years ago, where the fans decide what's happening on the field. I mean, that could be exhausting though if you're having to be put into a video game. There's some psychos that play till 3 and 4 in the morning. He could run through 4 seasons in a night. So, I mean, I don't blame him if he's got that perspective.
That's true. You have some psychos that might try to run him all the time and get lit up over the middle of the field. I mean,
Yeah, so he's out the next week.
yeah, you never know. I remember in those college football games, you always have your quarterback miss like a quarter or two. So yeah, it could be
I imagine running
dangerous.
the four verts continuously isn't good for the arm either.
Yeah, going for it on every fourth down.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot of plays.
I never thought of that point. So yeah, you could be right. Troy, is there any truth to the rumor that I'm creating right now that he doesn't want to opt in because he's afraid that his overall won't be that high?
It's definitely a possibility. I mean, they're just going to slap someone else's name on him, though, so everybody will know, hey, Chipper Johnson is a 65 and Chipper Johnson's Manning, right? So,
It's the old John Dowd playing as Barry
yeah,
Bonds in the MLB games.
yep, for sure. That's exactly
I
what it
hope
is.
they just zoom in on the sideline and he's just got the Peyton Manning mark on his forehead. Just some generic character.
What's Eli Manning's
Yeah.
name from that Penn State bit that he did?
Oh,
Oh, I don't know. I
I
don't.
don't know. But though that just got It was just on my YouTube suggestion the other day.
But yeah,
It started with a C, I think. Chuck or
I don't know. Either way, it's just a weird move, especially when it all it did was they
Chet.
just
I think it's Chet.
Chad
check
Powers. Chad Powers.
check
Chet
power.
Powers.
But yeah, it's a weird move, especially when all that would have happened was you would have gotten $600, like, and you would have had to have done nothing. It literally would have not taken away at all from his preparation for this upcoming season, a season in which he'll be sitting on the bench behind Quinn Ewers.
I mean, maybe he's got a video game addiction and he knows that if he's in the game, EA Sports, it's in the game. If he's in the game, that he's not going to be able to practice or watch film. So he's just getting out ahead of it so that he can focus on what really matters: washing Quinn Ewers' towel.
So you know what I think? As Tech fans, if we really want to mess with them, we should get with Call of Duty and have them make an Arch Manning playable character in Warzone.
My God.
And have them get addicted to Warzone rather than watching film.
Is that what they did to Kyler Murray?
Yeah. I guess so. Once they put the jerseys in Fortnite, Kyler Murray could never put the controller down. All
I
right.
mean, maybe he saw that. Maybe he saw Kyler Murray and he got some advice from him. Hey, don't even get started.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and move on to the last topic. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but the food list has been announced for the Big 12 tournament. And guys, as Troy just showed, there's a large noticeable omission from the list. There's going to be no Wabash Cannondog this year.
What?
Yeah, yep. We won't get to enjoy that. I mean, Dallas, this kind of ruins the tournament for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about with the new teams coming in about how maybe the tournament should be moved to Vegas and whatnot. And it seems like that was all just a sideshow so that they could get rid of the Wabash Cannondog. I mean, look at that. That's if that doesn't scream Big 12 to you, I don't know what does.
It's
Because that
a
gets me
different Big
excited
12,
to watch
Dallas.
the Big 12 tournament games.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that they had to do that. Obviously, went viral last year for obvious reasons, as you can tell. But yeah, I do think that the Big 12 tried to throw a lot of, like you said, rumors, ideas out there to try to hide from the fact that they're taking away the one thing we love about the tournament. But instead, Kansas State's new food's going to be a Power Cat PB&J, which is just a fried peanut butter and jelly. Doesn't hit the same, right, Troy?
No, I mean, but even that hot dog didn't sound very good either. They just need to pick it up. They need to go back to the drawing boards. Maybe third time will be a charm next year, but yeah, very disappointing. I don't know if it's a bit that they always have the worst one on the menu or not, but God bless.
Well, hey guys, I want to go over the four new teams and what they're bringing to see what you guys think. We got the Cosmo Churros with BYU, the Centronaut Drink for UCF, the Cincy Cheese Coney for Cincy, and Shasta's Brisket Taco for Houston. Dallas, any of those sound appeasing to you?
I think it's hilarious that they gave UCF just a drink. I don't know what UCF did to piss off Brett Yormark, but I'm sure it's delicious. But everybody else has food, no? So they just get a drink. Cincy fans, I'm sure, will be excited about the Skyline Chili. I hope the bathrooms are capable of withstanding what's going to be happening there if their fans show up. Um, but yeah, those to me stand out. The Houston brisket taco sounds all right. That's relatively normal, and then the Cosmo churro sounds. I mean, that's similar to what they give out in the football games. So, just a big plate of diabetes, I guess.
Yeah, Troy, you looking forward to any of those?
I think about maybe adding a shot of vodka to the orange shot or orange soda with vanilla ice cream. Maybe
Okay.
that might be interesting. Dallas, there's nothing wrong with a plate of diabetes. Listen, especially at a basketball game. But I think that's fine. But with the rest of them, I don't know which one stands out to me. I'm trying to look at the other two. The brisket tacos. I mean, those always sound really good. And then that chili cheese coney. I'm not a big chili cheese coney kind of guy, so I'd probably have to go with the brisket tacos if out of the new four, which is
Yeah.
also a play with diabetes.
It all goes back to the beaties.
They're trying to put everyone comatose as they stay for all the games each day.
Well, I'm just thinking about it. Like, if you really want to drive more attention, I think you got to go all in, right? And I think you just got to. I'm looking at some of these teams. There you go, Troy. I don't even know if a Jayhawk's a real thing, but what if you just make a Jayhawk and just fry it and it's just a whole Jayhawk?
What if
Well, you just get a
they
wildcat and cook it.
There's been a lot of talk about fake birds recently, and they could
Yeah,
put that to rest.
go find the Jayhawk and cook it
Yeah.
at midcourt and serve it. Just saying, get some crazier ideas out here to get people really to watch. But yeah, it's always fun when the Big 12 tournament comes and you start to get to talk about these crazy foods, and then even the ones that you might miss out on. Like, Troy, please show us our lovely. Yep, there it is. You will be missed. But yeah, guys, that's all we got today. Thank you for watching, and as always, please like and subscribe. Follow us across all socials at Tech Tortillas. Again, that's Tech Tortillas. And guys, as always, guns up, wreck 'em.